We moved to Mexico exactly 1 month ago, and today we're going to take you around our new hometown of Merida and share with you our first impressions of life in Mexico as full-time residents. Let's go!
So we moved to Merida in January, and it is our plan to be here basically through the beginning of June. So even though we moved to Mexico, we haven't really settled down here in Merida permanently, and that's because we really want to kind of bounce around the entire country to kind of see for ourselves, but also show you all of the amazing destinations here in Mexico that you could potentially call home. And we think there's no better way to do that than to actually have boots on the ground and kind of giving a first-hand experience of these amazing places.
Yeah. Also, we were not ready to give up on like full-time travel in a way. So we thought that this would be like a nice balance. We just stopped traveling the world full-time for 3 whole years. So we were not ready to go from 0 to 100. And I also think this is like a cool way to also find a place for us, you know?
For
and
sure.
Yeah, so because it is a very important decision. And
now we're just like documenting after being here for a month, like our first impressions, which only happens once.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing that today on the anniversary of our 1 month in Merida. And our first impression of life in Mexico.
we're experiencing suburban life in Mexico. So I don't know if you can tell, but right now we're in the beautiful, colonial, colorful, busy, crazy center of Merida. We love it here so much. So actually 3 years ago, we spent 3 weeks here in Merida and we stayed in this area. So that's the part of the city that we saw. And in other places that we have been in Mexico, we always stay somewhat connected to the center. And this is the first time that we're not doing that, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. So right now we're staying on the northern part of town, and it feels totally different. Like we've never experienced anything like it. So it's called the Altavista neighborhood, and it just feels so quiet and residential, and it's
A lot of families, like it's
Yeah.
just like, I don't know, it's weird. I do want to say though that we are super comfortable where we are, and that place that we're staying, we actually tested it and we decided to extend our stay there. So this is like, you know, we decided this because like well, some pigeons really close to the camera. This is what fits better our lifestyle right now. So we work from home, we spend a lot of time at home, and we needed to be in a place with space and that it was quiet. So
Yeah.
it fits our needs.
Yes, and I think that even though we've spent a lot of time here in Mexico, it's still good to learn new things about Mexico
Yeah.
and to have that like first impression that suburban life does exist here.
Yeah.
But after like getting this little bit of tasting sampler of suburban life, I don't know if it's for us.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of like why we're here in the center today filming the video, because we were like, we'll show you later, we'll go to our home later and show you something that we really want to show you, but like we just wanted to come to the more
We crave the
exciting
energy.
part of town. Yes. So one of the reasons we were so excited to move to Merida and the Yucatan Peninsula in general is because the food situation here is on another level. This is amongst the like yummiest food in all of Mexico, and we were very happy to rediscover that the food is still worth the hype.
So this beautiful green juice is chaya with pineapple juice. And chaya is like a native green to this area, like a leafy vegetable of sorts. And apparently it has a lot of health benefits.
Very Mayan.
Super mine. And super delicious. That's good.
So right now we're in this place called La 70, and I mean, look at this. It smells so yummy. They serve super Yucatecan dishes like cochinita pibil, relleno negro, escabeche. So yes, the food situation is a highlight of our stay here in Merida. I'm just gonna dive in.
What are those?
These are panuchos. a tortilla that it's like fried and has like beans in between the two layers of tortilla, and then all the goodness on top. They're delicious. If you have been following our channel for a while, you know that we are extremely passionate about food from all over the world. So it is really cool that we're somewhere where food is like respected, almost like they're very serious about it, and it's great. There's also a lot of international restaurants here. We have not tried any of them yet because, well, it's only been a month, and also we really haven't had the best experience eating at international restaurants in Mexico outside of Mexico City. So we're kind of like waiting, but I mean, who needs international food when you have this? Maybe us in a month or two when we're craving something, but for now, we're fine. If you're someone interested in moving to Mexico, we designed a quiz that is going to help you decide which place in Mexico is best for you. So this is a huge country and there are so many different options, but we're taking into consideration things like healthcare, cost of living, lifestyle, expat communities, and all that stuff. And then you just have to answer 10 questions and you're going to get a customized result based on your own wants and needs. After taking the quiz, we're going to be sending you tips about those specific destinations, things like Facebook expat communities that you can join, properties for sale or rent so you can see how much they cost, and of course, lifestyle tips as well. The goal is to help you make your dream move happen ASAP and with the least amount of stress. So after watching this video, take 2 minutes and take the quiz. It's going to be linked in the description and in the first pinned comment. Now moving on to another thing that kind of shocked us after moving here, one we didn't really see coming. Things are actually easier than we thought. Here we are, sitting on a square again, hoping that no one walks into our tripod like it has happened before.
So I think we mentioned before, we have a very unique situation here in Mexico that we do kind of work a lot more than probably the average person that moves here to Mexico.
Yeah.
And we were very conscious of like how much time we were spending on like walking to get groceries because we don't have a car. Also like cooking and like doing
the
dishes,
like all the stuff.
So we were looking for ways to simplify our life, and we found a lot of very convenient ways to do exactly that.
Yeah.
So one of the coolest things that obviously has existed before, but that we have started using here in Mexico is the grocery delivery, which if you pay a certain amount,
it's like, I think the minimum that you have to order is like 1,500 and there's free delivery. And it works perfectly. Like even the fruit and vegetables, they pick like the best stuff. Like it's been a great experience. Also, ordering Amazon. There's a Home Depot nearby that we got a few things for like our home office, and it was just so easy. And the best thing, which I had a hard time giving up, but I had to because it takes so much time, was meal delivery service. So we hired a couple companies that we were both trying that they deliver our food like every single day, and we spend $100 to $120 a week for our dinners and some lunches. And it has been a game changer for what it has allowed us to do in terms of work. So we have filmed and edited like 8 videos in 1 month, which is ridiculous. I've never done that before.
Yeah, so I think the first impression here is that like a lot of things here are as convenient and as a lot simpler than probably what we expected coming in.
Yeah.
Because even though it's kind of logical that those things exist, we never kind of took the extra step to do it because we didn't like live here.
Yeah.
So now we do. And we kind of
and now you know.
Yeah.
Because things are like, the summary is like things are a lot easier than we were expecting them to be.
I think for sure in cities, depending on where you live, obviously it could be different. But here in Merida, things are super simple.
Yeah.
The water truck passes by our house and we have it set up that they stop every time and check on us if we need water. So.
In the past, we used to get it by foot, which is obviously kind of hard.
Oh, yeah.
And all of this that we're mentioning, like the greatest part is that it's super affordable. So speaking of costs, like let's move into the next part.
So our next first impression is that things here in Merida are actually a little bit more affordable than probably what I would have expected.
Yeah.
So for context, we've made a lot of cost of living videos here in Mexico, so we have a decent idea of what prices here are in general. And when you read about Mexico, you read that it is one of the more expensive...
Merida.
Yeah, what did I say?
Mexico.
Oh yeah, Merida. You read that it is one of the more expensive cities here in Mexico.
Yeah.
However, being here, we feel that it's pretty reasonable. So for going out, like a local market behind us, a meal can still be very affordable. It's like $5 to eat at Taqueria La Lupita. Taqueria La Lupita.
Guys.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So that is pretty affordable. Also, our apartment or our townhouse for what we're getting, we're actually pretty impressed.
We are surprised. We're shocked because when we were doing our research, coming here, we were willing to sacrifice a little bit of comfort because, you know, the places were a little bit pricey online, but we were so lucky that we found that place and we're so comfortable. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, our other expenses, like groceries, are pretty comparable to what we have spent in other cities, which was also shocking.
Our gym is cheaper and much nicer than what we have paid in Mexico City and Querétaro.
Yeah.
So in general, like, it doesn't feel like Merida all the way lives up to the hype of like being super expensive.
Yeah.
And maybe we also got a little bit lucky with our place.
Yeah.
Also, something that had to do with that is, of course, the exchange rate. And right now it is more favorable to us because we have dollars. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, not to say like there's a lot of places here that are pricey, but there's a lot of options, which is great. If you're thinking of moving here, like, there's options.
I also want to say that we're trying to find quiet places to film, but if it's not the cars, then it's apparently the birds. So hope it's not too bad.
Sorry in advance. I'll do my best to edit the audio, but it's not.
And now we are in a different part of town. This is the sleepy residential and suburban neighborhood of Altoriza, also known as our neighborhood. We live 1 minute that way, so soak it all in. So another first impression we have is that Merida might not exactly be the expat haven that we thought. So another thing, when like reading about Merida, you can find out that it's one of the more popular places for expats. However, on a day-to-day basis, we see exactly zero. There's none in our neighborhood. There's none at the gym that we go to. There's typically none at the stores that we visit to do our shopping. So that might be a little bit of, I don't know, like a misconception or overstatement in a way. So to be fair, Centro does have a lot of tourists. And if you go to Centro's like Santiago neighborhood, it does feel like there's expats, but it certainly doesn't feel like any kind of like expat haven. But it is cool for us, in our opinion, that this is like a very Mexican neighborhood. Also, it helps that we speak Spanish, so we've connected with some of the neighborhood folks. Like one guy who feeds a lot of the street cats. He's a super nice guy. Some lady who has the gossip about who doesn't take care of their cats. She's also very interesting, so it's fun to connect with those people. And just like in line with that general tip that learning Spanish in Mexico is a great way to connect with the people here and just feel more at home. So let's go see if we can find Kiki, our special cat. She's this way.
Refreshing. On that note, it's hot in Merida. This is another first impression that kind of hard to explain because we knew what we were getting ourselves into. Like, we knew it was going to be hot, but what we didn't consider is that we don't have a car, which makes me think I hope we can buy a car soon or a tuk-tuk. Stay tuned for that one. I hope so. The problem has been that when we plan our days here, we were like, oh, we don't need to go out. Like, when it's super hot, we work from home. We'll just do the morning walks, the afternoon walks. We'll go to the gym in the morning and that's it. However, our gym is extremely full at 7, 8, 9 a.m. And the only time that we can go is at 1 p.m. So when it's the hottest, so we have to walk 20 minutes to the gym and it's very hot. So keep that in mind. It's just like an advice if you're coming somewhere that is super hot, like you need a car. And another thing that makes this place feel very hot is that we don't have AC downstairs. Thankfully, we have these fans, but we don't have AC. And one last thing related to safety. This is gonna be very interesting because we've always felt safe here in Mexico. Obviously, we wouldn't move to a place where we didn't feel safe, but this is another level. Come on. This is our food delivery for the day. Well, Gordon's dinner. Wait. This is the food delivery. And look at this. I told the guy that we were gonna go out and that we were not gonna be here, so I just leave the money in a little bag in the mailbox, and he put the change. He put 40 pesos change. I mean, this is another level. I was not expecting this. We feel so safe here. This is great. Well, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch another video with other myths about life in Mexico, I'm gonna leave that one here. And don't forget to take the quiz. It's linked in the description. See you in the next video. Bye. Ciao.
Hasta luego.